go. So when we did our preparation for the Open Infra Summit, we thought about let's try something completely new. So I asked my colleague Hector, should we do and try to engage in some kind of a dialogue between the product guy as you are and the tech guy as I am?
Yeah.
Let's see if this creates some fruitful combination. But maybe before we start, let's just introduce ourselves. Hector?
Yes, I'm Hector López Romero, Senior Product Manager for Database, Big Data and AI from the Open Telekom Cloud. It means I'm responsible by about 16 services. I'm just the one that is taking care of the roadmap, the development, new features. Have been in touch with customer success manager and aligns on small technical parts that we want to deliver to our customers in the direction of roadmap and so on. And you? Please.
My name is Nils. I'm Nils Magnus. I'm more than 8 years with Open Telekom Cloud now. I'm a principal cloud architect for the Open Telekom Cloud. By the way, if you've seen, so we have some flyers at our booth with the new logo T-Cloud. That's what we are currently in some kind of a preparation phase of some branding whatsoever. The experts on that have not decided on the final, I don't know, glitches and details on the new slogan and titles yet, but there is something big down the road, but please bear with us for that relabeling for another, I don't know, a few days or a few weeks, I don't know.
Probably a few weeks.
As I said, I work as a principal cloud architect at OTC, and as such, I have several sub-roles. One of them is actually the conferences here, like the Open Infra Summit. So I don't know if we talked maybe at some of the previous summits already. And when I'm home in Berlin, in Germany, I work together with my team on open source and community-related stuff. I call myself a PO for our ecosystem squad, where we provide you with tools like the SDK and the CLI tools and the Terraform providers and so on. So that's all created by my team. For today we thought, okay, what are the two most important single subjects or keywords or buzzwords what we should talk about. So this is a little bit about what are we doing at Open Telekom Cloud right now, and what is our vision that comes with this offering. So as we can see, everybody is apparently talking about sovereignty, but what does this actually mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does this mean at the end? So it's not just sovereignty, because this is also being discussion also in European what this sovereignty means, what they believe that is, and also everyone has a different overview about that. On the other side, we don't just the only one that think about sovereignty. There are other.
But isn't what the hyperscalers, the AWSs, the Azures or the GCPs or what you ever call them, isn't that just enough? So they have good services, they have a great people and a great offering. So what is lacking there?
It's lacking about, again, what they really want to achieve in Europe. What do they believe that they want to have? So is there only use data? Is only use the service that they deliver? There's a lot of combination about that, right?
Yeah, and well, what we have seen is a deep concern about some kind of interaction or access to data, access to processes of processed data. So you probably have read or seen the news where some, in this case, US legislation forced the cut-off of some, I think, EU official from his email and other situations that have been recently been discovered in the context of a changing world order. I think that have been the terms that Thierry used yesterday. So we have seen a lot of intervention and for that we have seen also that many of the cloud providers said, okay, yeah, then let's build up a new data center, say in Frankfurt or in Paris or in Dublin, and then we are safe, aren't we? But not. We are not.
Probably not. This is exactly the reason that we are facing recently, that most of our customers or new customers are coming and start asking, are you sovereign? Because it's just sovereign is like AWS, like Google, say, I don't know what's going on there. Whatever they are saying, it's just promising, but it's still at the end is what still keeps sovereign. What is for you sovereign? So at what age you believe that's sovereign? So are because the data centers, as Nils says, is Europe and that's it? Or probably it's more focused on other topics like privacy, to be independent of your data, to be resilience at what level? As you yesterday saw on the keynotes, they still, what level of resiliency do you want to achieve with that, right? And this is the way what do we want to highlight in this presentation.
Yeah, so giving that several terms that have been on a previous slide, so about independence and resilience and so on, those are the desires of the cloud users. That's what they want to achieve. But our question was, so we sat together and how do we actually achieve this in a hands-on way? And then we came up with this diagram here, and we tried to divide up the whole subject of sovereignty into three manageable parts. And the first being sovereign data, the second being sovereign technology, and the third is sovereign operations, and we'd like to go a little bit deeper into those.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move now forwards with all that three topics. Let's talk a bit about data, because data is always the most valuable part of all our customers. If you ask me, my role as product manager, the main key decision for our customers, it's always, we're talking about data. What do we offer to save data? What we offer to secure data, in the meaning of offering security, encryption, the security level of data is really the customer sure that they own the data, they can just access the data, or is there one on the data center that just come, put a USB stick and then take the data, get outside and that's it? So that is exactly not that case, right? Yes. In this case, we deliver encryption at the hardware level. So in the meaning, your data in our cloud is already encrypted, so no chance to just go with USB stick and just download whatever they want. It's not possible actually. Our data center is not just that they are without cameras, without security, without access. So there's a lot of work behind that, so that everything keeps transparent. But it's just data. What do you think, Nils, about this open source technology, for example?
Yeah, it's basically the same story here. It's as well not one single technology that we are talking here, but a variety, a combination of different components. So obviously one of the main components that we are using is OpenStack, because the Open Telekom Cloud is based on OpenStack, plus a number of extensions on top of that. We go into that in a minute. And that's why we are very tightly coupled to the to OpenStack as a project, to the Open Infra Foundation as an organization, and also to the Linux Foundation, or the Linux and open source movement at large, because only open source ensures the transparency to look into the building blocks of your cloud, and they are basically the pre-requirements to achieve later on some kind of certification or auditing processes, to understand what is happening under the hood, and how is your data processed. The same applies also for the operations itself. Would you like to?
Yeah, of course. Just to make this a little bit more simple, operations, as I told you before, it's just that we keep in our data center, because they are based in Germany. Only local personnel can access the data center to do maintenance. Of course, it's not like we extend our cloud very quick. You will see exactly the numbers, how big we are. So that means only personnel of the systems are will access. With that, we fulfill European regulations, and with that, of course, fulfill sovereignty at that level that only just local people can access our data center. But Nils, what do you think? So at the end, we would like to summarize what we are doing. On the one side, we are fulfilling this GDPR compliance. We fulfill this sovereign at that level of the three pillars, like we're saying, data, operations, and technology. Independent of that, security is the main concern of the systems of Open Telekom Cloud. As you know, we don't want to have any kind of breaks of security, and at the end, on top of it, it has to be reliable. So that means?
So the main idea here is that we tried some mapping. So on the left hand side is what we want to achieve, and what are the features that we actually set up to achieve that. And what we learned is it's not a single one-to-one mapping. To be GDPR compliant, of course, there are a list of requirements, but to be to create real data privacy, there are much more things to think about, to organize everything, to explain the features of the cloud to our customers, to our users, etc., etc. And therefore we also tried to reassure ourselves, is what we are doing actually that what our clients and customers are looking for.
Exactly.
And for that we took this research survey from Bitkom from 2024, so last year. And if you look there on the three main features that users are looking for at their clouds, is about security, it's about data privacy, compliance, performance, data encryption, and so on. It's probably not necessary to read all of them, but as you can see, they all map to those features that we just talked about.
Exactly.
And I think that's why we are here on the right track, at least we believe so, for that.
Of course, keep in mind that this survey, it's not just that they are asking one company. Bitcoin is legacy that they have 2,000 industries that they belong, and then within this survey asking exactly each industry why, with this question how they give this weight of that. And you may see exactly most of the most important topics are exactly related to sovereignty. But it's also not how we are also fulfilling the sovereignty. It's also based also on our research for ICIX is how we map in comparison with other cloud providers in the direction of delivery of technology at the technology level, at the future level. As you may see, there is not just one part that this sovereignty fulfills. It's a set of many topics that we have to cover, and in this case, compared just with other cloud providers, you may see also that they are based in Germany, France, and so on. We fulfill most of the key component that has to be really delivered for industry.
Yeah, I mean, this is of course the bragging slides here, where we show off our results. But I mean, the table itself was created by the colleagues of, as Hector mentioned, from IX magazine, and actually it's not about the single check marks here, but it's the most important thing I think of this slide is the diversity or the number of the smaller pieces that have been taken care of, and to give you maybe a little bit better picture what this actually means. We have prepared also a slide describing the scale of the OTC. Could you show that?
We have also here a link, so you can download also that article that is describing exactly more content there.
Okay.
This only uses the summary at least, but also the question, Nils, how big are we? Are we small? Fine, we can have this data center on a cellar here in this polytechnic, or what is? And then you may see some big numbers, right? Like what, for example, Nils? What do you think?
Well, I think we are doing quite well. I have not counted in every other European OpenStack-based cloud, but I'm pretty sure we are in the leading group as well. So if you look at, for example, over there with the virtual CPUs, I very well remember the times 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we joined the so-called 100K club from the Open Infra Foundation with more than 100,000 virtual CPUs. And as you can see, we are almost touching the million by right now. The same applies to impressive 4.5 petabytes of RAM in our servers combined, or the 26,000 assets, so devices that we actually shove into our racks in Magdeburg, in Biere, in the Netherlands, or in Switzerland, where our regions are currently located. The same also applies to the multitude of services, and let me make one remark to services, because sometimes there is a little bit of a small fight about services and the number of services. It's pretty easy to create more and more services for whatever new field. So for example, for databases, or for analysis, or for AI. We are getting back to the AI topic in a minute. But what's core important is to have a good coverage of the core services. So, and that's compute, and this was the automatic slide. So I have overseen that. So compute, network, and storage. Those are the three most important groups or categories of services. And if they are reliable and if they are versatile, then you can build whatever you want on top of that. But out of convenience, there are lots of other services as well, and they are likewise important for sure. Like security, management stuff, and for analysis and for applications and so on. But I just wanted to put this a little bit into perspective.
But nevertheless, it's also not just what we offer as a service, it's also which kind of regulations or certifications we fulfill, because otherwise your data security on your company will still say, okay, nice that it's Open Telekom Cloud, not nice that they exist, but we need to fulfill local regulations on it. In the meaning, okay, we are, for example, finance, BaFin, DORA industry, it has to be fulfilled. If you are for healthcare, you need to fulfill critics. That is also one of the core components. If you don't have it, then you can forget it to start doing deployment in our cloud, because legally speaking, you are forced to fulfill. And what we want to share with you here is like we are exactly providing this kind of certification out of the box.
Yeah, one question I'd like to ask you, especially after visiting several other booths, talking to other conference attendees, is the second big subject here, and that's AI. And Hector, you're working with the AI folks.
Yeah.
How ready is the OTC for AI?
We're ready in many facets, because AI, as you probably see, AI is something that it's not software, it's software and hardware. If you have the software, it could be work, but you don't have the hardware, good luck. Right? In that sentence, AI is also something that you don't say it's just one service. AI seems like it's the end. It's the final part for the end customer, but you have to find ways how to train models, how to adapt code, how to retrain models with new data, and so on. In that case, just to do a small summary about this, we deliver the hardware, in this case H100, that is most very booked on our Open Telekom Cloud. Then we have not only just that, we have machine learning. Machine learning, it's called the service model arts that is here. With model arts, if you start just working right now, you have all your data that you want to train. In 7 minutes, you will get the first model up and running. So in that case, it's very faster, because the models that the frameworks that we are using there are running on GPUs, so very nice. Function graph, if you are working with function graph, we have also logs on our community. In that way, if you want to use a function graph, is like Lambda for AWS, so you can imagine like that. You need, of course, to add that libraries, and if you have the libraries, you start working, 30 minutes, you get the first amazing results. Vector database, if you are using RAG solutions, OpenSearch is behind that with 2.19. That will be delivered next month, so we are fulfilling exactly that target also. Container services, as in big data, we have MapReduce service, memory database, AI foundational. So as you may see, we have a lot of elements that putting them together will fit mostly of the AI use case that you have. So in any kind of sector, that's what we want to share.
So my bottom line here is each of those single items are more or less just, well, best of breed approaches that are available and probably also known by some of you, and not so difficult to learn given enough time. But if you were to set up one of those pieces by your own and by hand, so setting up a full-scale Kubernetes cluster, there is lots of documentation, lots of YouTube videos, lots of trainings whatsoever available. But we took the most common use cases and prepared them for you, so that you don't spend, say, 2 weeks in setting up and tweaking all details of a new Kubernetes cluster, but you press a button or just launch a Terraform script and have it within minutes.
Yeah.
And that is the big difference here that we want to stress.
Yes, exactly. We also, if you don't want to use this interface, Terraform deployment, API endpoint, so it is really flexible in that sense. But keep in mind, this is what we offer at the hardware level of the GPUs. This at the meaning, where is the availability? It's in Germany. It's in the Netherlands. You also can see in this slide the pricing that we ask per hour. Everything has to be depending on which kind of target or primary usage you want to use. So here in this primary usage, if you want to use it for inferences, if you want to use for training, we are really deliver transparency to the customers that they can see, okay, if I want to do something like visualizations, AI inferencing training, I can just see which kind of these GPUs solutions you can deploy in the ODC.
And it's also one thing I would like to stress here is that these are also available. So it's not just here on the listing, but if you actually want to utilize some H100 GPU cards, then you can book them. And that is also a question of scale for sure.
Yeah.
That you can actually make use of that. That's why we are also one of those bragging tables. Okay.
And that way, this is one example of machine learning. It's models. We always say that AI is not replacing people, because that's exactly the target of AI. Not replacing people, is just helping you doing your activities. This is one of these examples when they are just a place, you put all these profiles, the AI has to just identify, to count them. This training model has to use to be trained to recognize these profiles there. They have to count it, as you may see, 345. It's, as you may see, it's not all of them recognize it, but this is supported in the meaning that the guys that is just start counting, he will start counting exactly what is missing, and it will be more easy. They start counting one by one. This solution is an end-to-end solution in the meaning that you have everything there. You just need your data to train the model, get the model trained, and with that, then you will get the answer in JSON format. You can identify every value and forward to the target application, business logic, whatever you have installed there. And of course, the frameworks that we're offering are all open source. That is really, really important. No vendor blocking that. But machine learning is not always everything. By now, it is more the trained language models. For that, we offer a marketplace. In this marketplace, you can access open source models from large language model. The short message to you will be here on these slides that here, what is their foundation service? They are ready to use service in the way that they are running in our cloud. They are maintained on our cloud, so no ways to get somewhere else like USA on every place. They are running in Germany, so your data will not lose our data center. This is the other one. The other one is the frameworks that we're using. If you already have experience with OpenAI and so on, already in your solutions, you just change two parameters: the URL to access it, the token that you will get, because it's a token-based solution. This is it. So if you already have this, 5 minutes probably of your time, you can start working with it. This is it. And then this is what we already offer to solve. Last but not least, environment, right? Because it's not just like environment is not a topic. Regulations you have to Europe has to achieve in the consumption of energy consumption on electricity to prove that they are the data centers or the resource that you are using also on the cloud are fulfilling this kind of components. What do you think, Nils? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we took quite some effort into the whole subject. Well, we have our own sustainability engineer who not only takes those pretty pictures, but is also talking with the industry on new means to save energy, to reduce our footprint, and getting all those certifications as well as achievements in saving energy and over the overall footprint of us. So with that, we'd like to conclude and ask ourselves, ask you as well. So what kind of freedom have we gained through sovereignty and through our offering like Open Telekom Cloud? And we hope to have conveyed a little bit of our values, of the freedoms that are connected with open source, with open operational mode, and an open mind towards cloud computing. With that, thank you very much for your interest, and we are here for questions. Thank you. Are there any questions to any of the services we described, or is there something we are here either right now, or we have also our small booth in the main hall. So if you want to ask us over some lunch, that may also be a good option for that. Thank you.